and welcome to the first ever UCLan Sport Live with Ollie Scott and me, Alison Whitfield.
On the show this afternoon, we've got live hockey action in our main match as UCLan face a last day battle with Lancaster University, with the defeat potentially seeing the home side relegated to Northern 3A.
Just as important for UCLan's hopes is the game at Chester. Chester versus Manchester Met Seconds, with the result there having a bearing on who goes down. We'll have updates on the score from there. We'll be bringing you the latest scores from the UCLan Sports Arena with our team of reporters on hand, getting you the latest news to you first.
And now it's a penalty corner. John Woodhouse will take it. And there's been a different shooter every time from these penalty corners for UCLan, but one of them's going to have a shot at goal. Let's see if they can capitalise.
Well, this is how UCLan and Lancaster both got their first goals, so opportunity here.
And the defenders charge it, but it's flicked towards goal, and it's in! Deflected in by John Woodhouse, the taker of the penalty corner. He didn't fall asleep there. He just moved centrally as Will Lacey put the shot towards goal, and he just deflected it past the goalkeeper. Excellent play by John Woodhouse, who I'm reliably informed he is a student of hospitality management. So he's not a sporting student at all, but excellent play there by John Woodhouse, and UCLan will be delighted with the goal early on in the second half. Gets them back on track 2-2, and what a finish we have in store here.
Absolutely brilliant play for that goal there. I'm not even sure if it wasn't an actual pass from Will Lacey to back to the goal scorer Woodhouse there. But I mean, yeah, superb goal. UCLan back on level, back on top, and they'll be looking to grab a third goal and put themselves back in the lead.
But they're getting the ball away from Lancaster there. Daniel Jones, you heard his shout of "oh no" to refer to his poor pass, and Lancaster giving you a chance now to attack and try and get back in the lead. But there seems to be a little bit of a scuffle in the middle. Will Lacey's stick getting caught up with the Lancaster players, and they give each other a couple of glares, but play will carry on and Lancaster will attack. It's a bit frenetic at the moment. No real possession hockey being played.
It's turning into a bit of a scrappy game.
It is a chance to attack for UCLan as Barrett gives it to McCulloch, who gives it to Lacey into the attacking D with a shot. Great save by goalkeeper James Harlow for Lancaster, and that could have been a lead for UCLan. What an attack! What a counter attack!
Yeah, and that all came out of nothing. Sean Barrett had found space there in the middle, played a lovely ball in on the left hand side to Will Lacey, and a great save from Lancaster's keeper.
Where you saw the forward three there of UCLan, McCulloch, Lacey and Barrett all linking up to create the chance. And they just need to get them free on the ball and get them chances, because when Lacey's been delivered the ball, he's really done a good job. So you just got to keep getting him the ball. Pressure on the Lancaster defence here as they just try and manoeuvre the ball. And they managed to do so extremely well, and able to knock it out to right back, who is Adam Carr for Lancaster, who will now take a sideline. And we just saw there John Woodhouse for UCLan, just standing up front at the minute. Lacey's just dropped in behind, so maybe a change of tactics as Lacey goes running forwards with Woodhouse in the middle. He has the ball, he rounds the goalkeeper and nets it. Excellent attacking. You saw the tactical change. Lacey and Woodhouse put up front. They've linked up well, and they've created the goal that could well keep them in the division.
Absolutely great play there from Will Lacey, and the goal scorer John Woodhouse. Absolutely fantastic, and UCLan have deserved that in my opinion. You know, they've been the better side this second half.
UCLan have just given away a free hit in their defensive 25 metres, so maybe just one last bit of defensive play for UCLan before they can celebrate. We don't want to speak too soon. He's shot towards goal from outside the D. He's touched no one. Goalkeeper, experienced Adam Dixon, in his last ever match for UCLan hockey team, he's just let the ball hit the back of the net because it doesn't matter, and he's happy to see him take a free hit from their own 25 metres. And now Will Lacey terrorising the defenders again for Lancaster, charges towards the box, but he's not unable to get to the ball. Lancaster clear well, advantage played, signalled by the umpire.
And the Lancaster keeper looks as though he's hurt, slowly getting to his feet there.
John Woodhouse shouting out the instructions for UCLan, dominating presence in central midfield, moved in up front for about 10 minutes, scored two goals. Excellent performance. I've got to say, Stefan, if you were to give a man of the match, who would you give it to?
Well, I'd give it to Will Lacey. I mean, all the players have played well. Just as we say that, Will's lost his hockey stick out of his hands. But yeah, Will Lacey for me, 2 goals, absolutely fantastic performance.
And Lancaster just moving into the last 25 metres. They've done exactly the same again, smacked it straight into a goal. Can't score from outside the D. Free hit to UCLan. But yes, that's the final whistle. The smiles on the UCLan faces. The hip hip and the hooray from the players on the pitch, and they'll be delighted with that result. UCLan just secured their position in Northern Division 2A of the University Hockey League, and they'll be absolutely delighted. What did you make of that, Stefan?
Well, it was, as we billed it to be before the game, it was going to be an absolutely cracking game of hockey, which it turned out to be. 4-2 the final score. My man of the match, Will Lacey, grabbing 2 of the goals, and it was just a fantastic performance by UCLan. And as you rightly said, they've assured the position in the league, and I think they've moved up to 2nd place, which is a fantastic result.
Thank you, Will, down there on pitch side, and I've been joined now by John Edwards and Will Lacey of the team who've run across to join me. Thanks a lot for that, boys. Must be brilliant to turn that around from half time.
Yeah, I mean, at half time we felt that they probably had the best of the opening 15, but we controlled the game after that, so we were confident we could bring it back in the second half.
And Will, you managed to get a bit more support second half, I think. Do you think that made the difference?
Yeah, I think we changed formation at half time to go 2 up front. It made a lot of difference, obviously, because we scored 3 second half instead of the 1 we got first half.
Your coach Luke spoke to us before the game, and he said how much you've been gearing you up for this, and he said that we'd expect you to come on a little bit stronger. He said maybe they won't start the best, but they always come back with this team. Is that how you see it, boys?
Well, we've been drilled all year on the importance of hard work, and we do work on fitness quite a bit, so I don't think there was ever any doubt that second half we'd be the stronger of the team. I mean, credit to them, they started well, but they weren't playing against the best UCLan in the first 15 minutes. I think we showed at the end that at the end of the games we come strong and we play good hockey.
And what about the man next to you? He scores goals, doesn't he?
He scored a lot of goals, this boy. There's a lot said about him, and maybe we don't always give him the credit he deserves, but he comes up good every time we ask him to, so we can't complain.
You got any words on John? It's his final game for UCLan here, but
we'll miss him. I know he got sent off on purpose, obviously, for the cameras, but yeah, we'll miss him. He's been a good lad for the last 2 years that I've been here, and he's been one of the Mr. Consistent of the team. So
I didn't want to mention the yellow, John, but do you want to just talk us through exactly what happened there?
Well, everyone, employs a bit of gamesmanship towards the end of the game. That number 4's been picking the ball up all game, and I think maybe the umpire lacked a bit of consistency, but me and Hilsey are good friends, and I'm sure we'll be fine after the game.
So you know the opposition player?
No, Hilsey's the umpire. Obviously he helps us out, but he helps us out with training. That I've known him a while through my club team, but I mean, that lad, he's obviously took exception to what I've done, but I'm not complaining. We've got the 3 points, and it's only a yellow card at the end of the day.
Back onto a serious note, survival must mean a lot to you, Will.
yeah, obviously I don't want to. Next year's freshers that are going to be coming in, they don't want to be playing in the lower division, which is the same as what the seconds have been in this year. And obviously anyone who comes here is going to want to play as good a standards hockey as possible, as I do next year, so it's great to stay up, yeah.
Must be brilliant to go out like that, John, on your final game.
Well, no one wants to be in a relegation fight, but I'm glad we've come into our last game and it's actually meant something to us, and yeah, to win. I mean, we could end up finishing second now, so it's not really been a bad season.
There you have it, survival on the final day of the season for this UCLan men's first hockey team. Back to the studio.
Well, a fantastic result for UCLan first men's hockey there, avoiding relegation by coming back from 2-1 down to win 4-2. What a game!
Yeah, absolutely. That's a superb result. We said at half-time they needed to up their game, they needed to up the levels of performance, and they really did. We mentioned Will Lacey. He got himself a goal and set up another one. So that's a fantastic result for UCLan. They don't deserve to go down. Their results this season, particularly at home, have been really good. So, yeah, fantastic result, and really glad that they've stayed up.
Yeah, do you think it was home advantage that sealed it for UCLan today?
Yeah, I think in the end, if they'd fallen 2-1 behind away at Lancaster, it's always tough to come back away from home when things are against you. But at home, on your own pitch, you know what the surface is going to be like, you know how you want to play at home. So, yeah, I definitely think it was the home advantage that sealed it for them in the end.
Yeah, fantastic, wasn't it? I mean, 3 goals down at the break. Little kind of team talk to themselves. There wasn't a long half-time period for them to get their thoughts together, but they've come out, they've scored 3, and they've stayed up. Fantastic.
Yeah, well, they knew at half-time they needed to up their game. They would have known that. They knew that the first half wasn't good enough, and that to let 2 sloppy goals in wasn't how they've played this season. It wasn't a true reflection of how they've been. So to up the performance in the second half was really good, and they've got their rewards for the way they've played all season, not just on this afternoon's performance.
Yeah, also, ultimately though, we should probably reflect on the last few minutes. Of course, they started to lose their temper a little bit. Saw a sin bin there right near the end. Thankfully, it didn't prove decisive, and they kept on to their 2-goal lead. But they can't really afford to keep that mentality about themselves, surely.
Yeah, it's that tension of a final day decider. It gets to you, and at 4-2 they'd have just been desperate to do anything to just keep that lead intact. Perhaps they went a bit too over the top, as John Edwards got sin bin, but you know, that's luckily they held on, and I think they did really well second half. They kept it tight at the back. They attacked with pace, as we said at half time they needed to do, and yeah, a fantastic result.
Have there been any key players for you this year in that side?
Has to be the goalkeeper for me. The captain, Mr. Dixon, is an absolutely superb goalkeeper today. It's just a reflection on how he's been for the whole campaign, making crucial saves at crucial times to keep them in it.
Well, on to another result now. We're going to go over to talk to Ed Bretherton for the UCLan thirds against the UCLan fourths men's football in a friendly. Ed, can you hear us?
Yeah, there's 10 minutes left in this clash. It really has been a tale of two keepers down here at Preston Sports Arena on pitch 2. It's 3-1 at the minute to the thirds. Not much has happened since half-time, really. It's been an awful game. Started the opening half an hour was poor. Then Jamie Mackey headed into an open net after a mistake from the fourth keeper, Josh Rich, who isn't actually a keeper. He's standing in today because of the one short. That stayed 1-0 till half-time. Again, a mistake from Josh Rich led to the second goal 5 minutes after the break. Number 10 firing through his legs. I'm not quite sure who it was. Then a fine free kick from number 6 from the thirds, 35 yards out, picking up the top right-hand corner. He got mobbed for his celebration. That was 3-0. A rare moment of class in this dire game. Adam McLaughlin's netted a consolation for the force. Again, a mistake from the goalkeeper, rounded him and putting it into the open net. But there's still 10 minutes to go here on pitch 2 at Preston Sports Arena. It's UCLan thirds 3, UCLan fourths 1.
Well, we're going to head over to Callum Wayness at the Rugby Union now. Callum, how's the game going?
It's now 28-10 to John Moores, and we've played 28 minutes of the second half. Since you last came, Liverpool have extended their lead over UCLan with 2 tries. The first from Niall Davidson, coming late in the first half. Davidson drove his powerful figure through the UCLan defence to score under the post, and Murray again kicked the 2 points to add to the 4 he kicked earlier in the match. After half-time, UCLan gained a lot more possession, but couldn't make pressure count as John Moores broke away and scored through Steve Higginbottom, which was again converted, taking it to 28-0. However, in the last few minutes, UCLan have staged a mini fight back. 2 quick unconverted tries through James Rankin have pegged John Moores back to 28-10. Currently, with just over 10 minutes left to play in the match, UCLan are on the attack and nearly scored again through James Rankin. However, he was held up and the referee gave a 5-metre scrum.
Well, that's all we've got time for today. Thank you to our guests Ashley Lamble, Tom Bowers and James Lowson. And thank you to all of you for being here and watching our first live TV sports show. We hope you've enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, we certainly have. I mean, from all of us in the studio, it's been a wonderful experience. Obviously, there's been a few technical gremlins, so thank you for sticking with us. But a fantastic live commentary. UCLan winning 4-2 against Lancaster and surviving relegation. But for now, we'll see you later. Goodbye.